Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm ShadowsPub bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own post or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take a turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel and come on voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay. You can share by text, but text and the link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call on you. You can have more than one turn, but you must use the emoji for each turn. Okay, let's get started. And who's gonna lead us? Mick's gonna lead us. Oh, he was ready and
This
waiting.
is yep. This is a post I made in the last week. I bought some planting containers and some bulbs and filled them with soil and put the bulbs inside it, and hopefully we have some spring on the balcony in February 2026.
So, will they survive okay on the balcony, or does it not get real cold
Sure,
there? Cool.
it's not going to get here below -10 or so, so they will survive.
You don't mean -10, you mean 10, right?
-10
-10.
Celsius.
So that's down into the low 30s, high 20s, somewhere in there.
I guess
I still
if you're on the
function in,
Fahrenheit,
yeah, I function in Fahrenheit.
okay.
Shadows is imperial.
Okay, Kitty Girl says that's 14 at -10 Celsius. That's pretty freaking cold. All right
Yeah,
then.
well, it's an
That's,
exceptional. -10 is exceptional here.
ah, and it would be protected from the wind there as well, I'd assume.
No, that doesn't matter so much.
Hmm.
These bulbs are short flowering, so only like 20 centimeters.
We'll see what happens.
Yep,
It'll
the
be an
pictures
interesting
the pictures will
experiment for you.
follow.
Perfect. All right, Kitty Girl, you're up.
I saw that post of Mix the other day, and the thumbnail, I couldn't tell. I thought it was food that he was cooking, some kind of a dish with little pats of butter on top. And then when I zoomed into the picture and read the post, I saw, oh, that's not food yet. It will be food eventually. Well, sometime recently, and I forget now if it was at a recent Pimp Your Post Thursday or maybe it was Hive Thrive, I don't know. We were talking about the old name challenge that we had on the legacy chain, and I said it would be fun to get it going again. And somebody said, well, you should do that. Well, I did it. um, I published this post that acknowledges the people that originally started the challenge on our old blockchain and copied the rules and everything. And then I figured that it wouldn't be fair for me to launch the challenge without participating. So I pulled up my old post where I talked about my name and pasted that stuff in. And since it, was basically duplicating a post that was already out there, I decided to burn the rewards. So it's launched. I have tagged a few people. I do remember several people in Pimp Your Post Thursday, like Shadows Pub and Artemis North and Snook and whoever had participated previously. So you did not get tagged this time intentionally, but you're definitely welcome to participate if you want to. But just don't forget, recycling content is frowned upon. So make your post this time different than your other post as far as wording and pictures and stuff go if you participate. And we've already got somebody who's done it. Funshi. She was the first one to participate. So if you open this post, go down to the tags and click on name challenge, you'll see everything that's been posted so far. And I think it's wonderful. I do hope it'll get some traction.
We'll see what happens. At least people can share it around even if they're not going to participate, and they might get some others interested in it. And Mick won the 1 HBI.
Congrats.
Yay!
It was a tough field to win in, but you did it. And Artemis, you're up.
Okay. This is a great word, and probably this time of year, one that everyone needs to remind themselves: fortitude. It's how we forge our way through life and withstand storms with grace and empathy, which is not always easy to do. This one, I think, is a good reminder that we need to kind of take stock of ourselves and the way we react to the world around us.
Yeah. I think I want to take an example from our PM at the moment.
Yes.
I really do have to hand it to him. I would not be able to restrain myself from making some honest comments, and he just keeps his cool.
My face would give me away.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about politicians that can keep their cool. They deserve great kudos.
He when he first started, and of course he was not a political guy in the first place. He came in from the business world, and he bristled a few times at some press conferences, and quickly got a bit of a reputation for being prickly. But I've noticed he doesn't do that now. He's obviously learned his lesson. He told
I
one
have a,
reporter, she she was giving him a hard time. He had just put all his investments into a blind trust, which is what's required under the ethics rules. And under the blind trust, the person who's running that trust can sell or rearrange the investments as they see fit. So the person that's put it into trust never really knows whether they would be benefiting from something because they don't even know if they still hold the investment. And this reporter started trying to challenge him that it still left him with conflicts of interest. And at one point, he looked at her and he said, "Look inside yourself and where you're coming with that question." And I just went, "Oh my god." He was right, but it's not something you normally say to a reporter.
Well, that's interesting. I'd never heard of a blind trust before, but that sounds like a good tool for a situation like this.
Yeah, it's required under our ethics rules. But,
I have a quick question. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
It's about decency, and somehow or other I just accidentally muted you, and I need to know how to fix it.
Okay, Artemis, you've been wanting to do that for years, I know.
Yeah, but this time I did it accidentally. It's not as much fun.
True.
You
But
see a follow button and an unfollow button, and next to that you see a bell and a bell with a slash through it. Just click on the bell with a slash through it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
she's thinking now I can do it at will.
There, you are officially unmuted.
So, Alessandra, did we talk long enough for you to find a backup?
Yes.
And then you're up.
All right. So I really, really like this post that Mick has done. I first of all, I love his photography because he has a thing about he's quite myopic. Our Mick, he likes to get down and like see the very fine detail. And there's something about being a designer. I take a lot of amusement when people play with scale And that is something that Mick does in his photography almost almost every post there's something where he's playing with scale. Like I think it's really fun when you take a penny or something like that, and you like make it big enough, you vectorize it, and you can make it where you could like wrap the image around a city bus and it would be just as crisp and clear. So Mick kind of turns that on its head, and he finds images that captivate him, and he zooms in, and you feel like you could actually bump noses with bugs. Or the thing that I thought about, you know how like when you're watching a movie or a series and maybe the next day you think about the characters? You're not even watching the thing. You think about the characters. Well, some of Mick's photography is like this for me. In this particular post, he plays with the zooming in on a simple key, a metal key. And what comes from that for me is like, it's not just like you're seeing two things. You're seeing color and you're seeing texture. And in the color, you're seeing that it takes a couple of handfuls of color to make up what we think as one color. And when you move in so close with things like whether they're metals or they're textiles or whatever, you really get to see all of the bumps and the nooks and the crannies. So, Mick, good on you for you're finding what you enjoy and you have found a way to bring it to Hive, unlike what anybody else does, even those people that are out there creating with their photography. So, well done, you. The end.
Well, thank you. It's not zooming in. I just use a macro lens with 5 times magnification for that. So it's just enlarging things. Zooming in means that I'm farther away and bring things closer. Um, in fact, this is right under my nose when I make photos of it.
Well, I love it, and I would love to learn how to do that someday.
Oh, you have to be very patient and stable hands.
Uh-oh. Stable's not my strong suit.
How's the patient part of it?
Oh well.
It might be a learning trial for you. She's thinking on that. All right, Roswell, you are up. I see him typing. There we go. And tell us about this. Oh, okay. Roswell says, "Hello, everyone. Sending you a big hug and wishing you a smile all day long. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Please excuse me as I'm currently at a lab donating blood and can't talk, not to mention my phone's microphone is still having problems. Today's post is for a photo feed initiative related to portrait photography. Those who follow my blog will know that I almost always accompany my work as a photographer with poems, since I'm also a poet. I hope you enjoy the post and let me know what you think. Thank you for allowing me to share in this wonderful space." Thank you, Roswell. Oh, you don't have to be sorry for donating blood. That's okay. You've got some pretty cool pictures there, too. Doing a study in black and white. And in between the pictures are the poem. Well, you're going to have to go and read the poem. Oh, and check out the pictures. So I take it that's not you in the pictures, Roswell. All right. Thank you, Roswell. Well done. And Artemis, you are up.
I found this picture of this crazy woman who's very happily using her hand that she's put so much effort into reclaiming to drink her caffeinated breakfast.
And she says she's
Hey, that's me, isn't it?
starting your day arguing with chat. So
I don't
I
know
have
if you.
I have to ask, did chat actually argue back?
Oh my God, we went around and around, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll go have the same argument with Gemini, and it wasn't the same. I mean, I won that one, but then I went back and did a fresh, like, let's just start from the beginning, completely unrelated, um, same account, so not completely unrelated, but a brand new chat, and we're getting along fine, and then chat just takes a hard left turn, and I'm just like, I'm done with you. He says, I understand that sometimes in these chats that you can become frustrated, so maybe you should take. I said, don't tell me to take a break. And that's
Not gonna tell this little duck what to do.
that's
I was
right.
going to say ChatGPT is kind of persnickety, but I don't know. The way you're talking back to him, I call him Bob, by the way.
I think the worst argument I ever had with my daughter was when she spilled red wine on the white sofa.
Ooh,
And I'm like, just move away and let me do it because mommy has all the right chemicals for the job. And she was like, you should just go to bed. I was like, you can't tell me to go to bed. Don't tell me to take a break, chat GPT. Anyway, I missed my eggs, but I got my coffee. So thank you, Artemis. You're very sweet.
Les loves the star on the coffee. Speaking of which, Les won the 3 HBI.
Hey, Les. Woo!
Congrats.
Les gonna buy us all coffee.
Not at today's prices. We've slipped down below 13 cents today. All right, Alessandra, you are up.
Okay, so this one is from Godfish. And Godfish, Bitter Irony met him in Graz this year. And yeah, so Godfish comes to my awareness because I haven't seen him for a few months, right? He comes to my awareness because we have opened up the brand new Discord server, the CWH. Um, the co-working for Hive. So it's creative work hour, but it is only for Hive people. So that we're only doing Hive things there. And there are very few channels, but one of the channels is Hive posts today. So I'll put an invitation to the Discord because it's a small little group. So if you like small intimate groups like this here, then we're for you. And if you make a post on a given day, you can post it into that channel. But I'm watching, and I'll find you like a bug. It can't be more than 24 hours old. And part of the reason for that is that I want to have a chance to go through them all and properly feature them on PYPT. So this one is really good. It is very what Godfish does is he's Czech, and he goes to across Europe in late autumn before it gets too cold. There are events that are in general called light nights. And this one is the Prague night. They had the Leeds night a few nights ago, and I just wasn't up to. I was too nervous to go out in the crowds on uneven surfaces and whatever, so I missed it. But this post allows me to enjoy a light night Prague style, from Godfish's attending one in his own capital city. So I think that you'll love the photography here. And yeah, I hope that you like it. And let me get the invitation. I'll drop it right here so that you can join us. And yeah, it really gives me time to spend focus time before, when I'm in creative work hour, before PYPT, to really look at not just my favorite posts of the week, but which ones are expressly good for how I like to present things in PYPT. So I hope you enjoy this one.
Nice. And Kitty Girl, you are up.
Well, I'm going to share three posts at once because they're all connected.
Oh,
The
okay.
Alliance is having a contest this week, or actually three contests this week. There is a costume contest, a pumpkin carving contest, and then a great pumpkin hunt on the blockchain where you look for that beautiful little um, image that you see in the preview that was created by Mick on one of his AI tools. And nobody has found any of the pumpkins yet. So you need to get out there. There's a lot of prizes to be had in the costume contest, the pumpkin carving contest, and the great pumpkin hunt. So have fun this week and find some pumpkins.
All right.
Oh, and there is a cute post on Witty's blog that shows the pumpkins that he and his family carved. And that's fun to see too. I might share that in a few minutes if he doesn't show up and do it.
Running this marathon with you one step at a time. That's a good tagline. All right. Thank you, Kitty Girl. And Artemis, you are up.
Wow. Now, this post, I give all kinds of love. This fellow Canadian talks about the difference between being a proud Canadian or a Canadian patriot, and then gives a really good kind of a brief historical reason why we should be proud Canadians.
Jason, I haven't seen him around in ages.
And look, if you scroll down, there's the familiar Highway of Heroes.
Yeah. Jason is a veteran. He was an Afghanistan vet.
I love his stuff. We share a love of water.
He's in the Toronto area.
Is he?
Yep.
Well, he seems to get out of town enough to enjoy the water.
We met a few years ago at a legacy chain conference in Toronto.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He was kind of our guide around town.
Well, Artemis, if he's a water baby, you might have a new kayaking companion and a Hive meetup at once if you contacted him.
Wouldn't that be something?
So I don't know if you, people are familiar with what the Highway of Heroes is. So when Canada has a fallen soldier or even a RCMP officer and they're returned to Canada, they're returned to a city called Trenton, which is an Air Force base. And then they're taken under escort to Toronto, which is about 150 miles away. There's 53 overpasses, and usually there's people on every one of those overpasses to show support for the family. So that section of the highway has been called the Highway of Heroes. I've stood on those bridges many a time.
Oh, that is a wonderful tradition.
That started when the first four in Afghanistan were killed. and it actually started in the county that I live in. Um, People just started going to the bridges, and then as it grew, it became a little bit more coordinated. The military was more forthcoming and when the planes were supposed to land, because there's a repatriation ceremony on the base, and then the motorcade leaves from there. It was interesting when the G20 was held in Toronto back. I don't know. It's probably about 10 years ago. Um, Roswell, you got a hot mic there. Roswell, you got a hot mic. Can you mute? Okay, I'll have to mute him. So when the G20 was held the week after, um, we were up on the bridges, and I was up on a different bridge, the one that is right where you come off the 400 series highway, and people were coming down the highway, saw us out on the bridges, and some of them stopped, and it was, "What are you protesting?" And it was like, "We're not protesting, we're honoring." Oh, Roswell, you have to drop another emoji to have another turn. Okay, and now there's two people ahead of you, and then you can share this, okay? That's okay. You'll get in practice. All right. Actually, there's only one ahead of you because Artemis just went. Kitty girl.
Well, this is the post I was talking about a few minutes ago, where Whitty and his family carved some pumpkins, and I think it's wonderful that they saved the seeds to roast and eat. Pumpkin seeds are so good. Roasted in the oven for a few minutes and salted, and oh yeah, it's a great snack. And he's got some Hive SBI up for prizes if you answer a question he's asked in the post.
All right. Check that post out and find the question.
Pepitas. I had forgotten that was the word for pumpkin seeds. Yeah, cool.
Aha! I see the question. Question isn't hard
I
to
can't.
find. You just got to look at the post. What were you going to say, Artemis? Or
Oh, I'm just
Alessander?
gonna have to start at the, I'll start at the top and comb my way through the post. I couldn't find it.
Ah, down near the bottom. All right. Okay. Just checking the draws for shows that they're set up properly. And now Roswell's up. Go for it, Roswell. Okay, he's going to drop some text in there. And Leslie, I did see your comment earlier about people remembering that it was starting earlier today. It looks as though not a lot of them did, but you did. And I did remind people when I was putting some posts out this morning. Yeah, that didn't surprise me actually, because there's also been a time change, and people, a lot of people in Africa and that area do not have time change, so that really throws their time off. Oh, good.
But the catch is it's now after 12 noon here, so they should have been here already, even if they had forgotten about the time change this week.
True. People have a habit of kind of arriving when they get around to it, and it may work against them this week.
Well, I think that the note, a poem, is all of the text Roswell's going to drop on this post.
Oh, okay. I was kind of like, okay, we'll just kill some time here and give him a chance. But that's okay. There it is. And yes, indeed, it is a poem. And it's written in
It's an
two
interesting
languages.
image, too.
It is. It is old. What's old?
Ain't nobody old.
It's wrong. My post the last one. No, no, it's not wrong. You're fine. No, we were just talking about it, Roswell. We nothing wrong with it. All right, Artemis, you're up.
Wow, that was quick.
Wow, it's a long line today.
I love this post because it kind of hits me in my feels. It's art and recycling, and I think anybody could really do this. Put a couple little magnets on the back and put them on your fridge. They're little mini ghost portraits. And Sylvia shows her process.
All right.
But I love the way that she cuts thin strips of cardboard and then flips it and glues it around the edge for the edging. That's how she gets that little Pico looking edge. Smart.
Yeah, gives it a frilly look.
I really like that one in the lower left that has the kind of white spots around the edge.
Yeah,
That's really cute.
we've got some creative people on this blockchain. Nice. All right. And Kitty Girl, you are up.
Well, we have got a hard fork on the horizon. It's coming up on November the 19th, tentatively. Um, they have run the code on their test net, and it seems to be working well. They're going to do more testing over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then, of course, we have to have a super majority of witnesses on the blockchain adopt the code before the hard fork can actually happen. And as long as we have the supermajority signaling that the code is ready to roll on their witness servers, yeah, then we'll have a hard fork on the 19th. Now, this post tells a little bit about the changes that are coming. There really aren't that many that we will see. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going to change. But if you scroll down into the comments, there is a link to the release notes in the Git repository that will tell you a lot of what's changing. And it's it's not a real easy read. It's going to be difficult for most people to wrap their heads around what's changing. But I expect in the next 2 or 3 weeks there's going to be simpler explanations coming. Somebody's eventually going to say, "Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old," and somebody will. So, but the biggest change right now that we're going to see probably as users of the blockchain is whenever we've cast votes in the past, say that we're sitting at 100% voting power and we cast a vote, all right, all of our strength goes to that vote and we have a high vote value. And then if we cast a second vote and a third vote and a fourth vote, we're going to notice that a little bit less value is going to be applied to those subsequent posts. And That's going to change. We're going to be able to have um, full vote value for every vote until we run out of voting power, which is really kind of cool. It's probably going to be a good thing for curation.
Yeah, that's an interesting twist.
Well, and one of the reasons they're doing it is because it's hard to explain to new people to the blockchain that are coming from Web 2 why your vote, decays like that as you cast additional votes. Although it makes perfect sense to me, but they say they're having trouble getting new Web 2 users, to understand what's going on. And this way we don't have to explain anything.
It's funny how we came in when things were a little bit more rustic, and we seem to be able to get our minds around the concept. Now things are a little bit more straightforward. People are kind of going, "What do you mean when my voting power drops, so does my vote value?"
Yeah, that's true. I think maybe we came in at the right time. We don't have such confusion around things.
Seems like it. And Mick's on a roll today. He's won the 3 HBI as well as the 1 HBI.
Wow.
He says, "Seems like I've been robbing the giveaways today." Nah, you haven't been robbing them. We'll see how much of a roll you end up on, whether you get stopped at the third one. So this is getting interesting because I know the last time everybody was braced for the chain to go down, and the hard fork time slipped by, and everybody looked around and went, "Didn't they do it?" Because it went so smoothly.
Well, one of the things I found quite interesting, and I really didn't think about it at the time, in this post I just shared, there is a video that you can watch where there is a panel of people on stage talking about the hard fork. And one of the things that Crimson Clad mentioned was since Hive forked from the legacy chain, we have not had any stoppage of the chain due to a hard fork.
That's right.
None, none at all. And I thought that is a pretty darn good accomplishment. It's wonderful. And I remember the chain stoppage that we had, back on the legacy chain, and it was dicey there a couple of times. But yeah,
Yeah.
since Hive, yeah, no stoppage. Is that not a wonderful thing?
Now this is only the second hard fork since we forked, isn't it?
I think so. There, well, no, there was a small one. Yeah, there was a big one and then there was a small one.
Ah,
I think so. This will be the third.
I think that maybe we've got a different caliber of devs. They're a little more invested in making sure that it goes right.
I think so too. And also, another thing that they are doing is every chance they get, they are moving stuff to layer two instead of keeping everything on layer one. And that way they can make tiny little changes here and there on layer two that don't require a full hard fork. And I think it's wonderful that they're moving in that direction. Layer one is the basic code of the chain itself. But then there's a lot of little bells and whistles and fluffy butterflies that can happen on layer two without layer one being involved. And it's wonderful they're going in that direction.
Certainly seems to be working out that way. We're trying to get Gandalf onto Hive Thrive um, around the hard fork time, so we'll see what we can pull off.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, Gandalf would be a good guest for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll see what
And if
happens.
you can get her, Crimson Clad would be a good guest too. But
Well,
she's got some health issues, plus she's got so much she's involved with. She is so busy. It would be hard to pin her down, but if you could, she would be a good guest.
I've reached out to her several times and she doesn't even answer these days. So I don't know whether she doesn't check her DMs or it's just kind of like, I gotta say no. I don't want to answer.
She's just overwhelmed, I think,
Yeah.
probably.
And the other one we're trying to connect with is Dan. They call me Dan. We had been connected with him for a while, and then uh, he got sick. So now he's back. We'll see if he's available. Speaking of which, Jarvie will be on Tuesday.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful.
That'll be Ed and I doing the interview. So Artemis has shared the stream, the link for the live stream today for the podcast. Remember, I said that they were going to send a link out in the hour before the show, Artemis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the exact same email that I got yesterday.
Oh, gotcha.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, if you decide to go and watch this, you click on that link and then you go to the section that says live.
Oh, okay, that would do that. All right, that's the post that you wanted to share, right?
No, actually,
Okay,
I
then
got the link from Peggy.
in that case,
Oh,
you're up.
well, thank you. This is just a silly post. This person enjoys the same thing I do. I love looking at the clouds and seeing what I see in the clouds. Quite often, where I live here in southwestern Ontario, I face west. So in the evening, I go out, and my husband and I make a point of going out at sunset to watch the sunsets because they can be quite spectacular. And when it's cloudy, it's amazing how sometimes in the clouds I see a seascape, some sort of a coastline with rolling waves. I always see it. I don't know if it's because it's in my head or it really looks like that. But when I looked at this person's post, I went, yeah, I can kind of see a dog sitting up in there.
Wishful thinking on the coast, eh?
Well, yeah.
What do you drink before you are watching?
No, I'm Canadian. I don't really drink, but I do like to eat edibles.
I'm assuming Stress knows exactly what you mean by edibles.
That's a good question. In Canada, THC products are legal for, no, not mushrooms, just a little bit of THC edibles. No, not ecstasy. That would kill me.
Pot is legal in Canada. Does that help?
There you go. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe brownies. Or I usually have gummies.
Roswell says I scheduled a post this morning for that initiative so I can participate soon. Ah, cool.
So Artemis, you were talking about gummies, and on Sunday we were on our way from Leeds down to Rutland, which is the smallest county in all of England, and I was just in a world of hurt. I was miserable. I'm like, I am crazy to even be trying to like go and do this thing. And I looked up and it was like an entire factory of Haribo.
Wow.
Wow. And of course, I love jokes about scale. I'm like, if that's the factory for Haribo, imagine how big the gummy bears are.
It could fall over and crush you.
Crush
Alexander
you.
was dreaming in Technicolor again.
Amazing how some simple thing could lift your mood.
I'm
That's what
picturing it and
matters.
it's making me kind of giggle. My grandson, when he was really little, he was about 2 or 3, and there was this song on the internet called I'm a Gummy Bear. and it was really catchy. And he listened to it over and over and over and over and over until my husband was kind of rolling his eyes up into the back of his head. And to this day, I still remember all the words to that song, and I still sing it sometimes because it's a happy song.
And it irritates the heck out of
Let's hear it.
hubby.
Well, there are perks.
How does it go, Artemis? How does it go?
Well, I'm not really a singer, but it's like I'm a gummy bear. I'm a gummy bear. I'm a rootin' tootin' flutin' rootin' gummy bear. Oh whoa.
You
And it
heard it
just
here,
goes
folks.
on and on. It's hilarious.
With that, Alessandra, you're up.
Okay, my link looks weird, but let's see if it let's see if it opens up. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. So, Kitty girl, this is for you, and also because this is something that Godfish wrote in his native tongue, which is Czech, and so he's like, this is my explanation of the thing going on with the hard fork that is coming, and so what I have is he's like, you're gonna need to to translate it. So the one that I got into an argument with this morning, we went through four options of what is supposed to be the most easy to use Czech to English translator, and Quillbot is supposed to be the best one. So you can throw the text that's all in Czech right into Quillbox and just see if that explanation is good enough for a fifth grader. So there we go.
So, can't you just use Google?
You could use Google Translate, absolutely. This one is supposed to be especially good for the Slavic languages.
Ah, because if you're in Chrome,
Hmm.
if you right click, there's an option to just to translate right in the browser.
Ah,
But it's not always good. When Apollo was down east and he was doing his placement in the French program, I couldn't use, he had to use French all the time. And when I tried to translate what he was saying with Google Chrome, it wasn't very good. And I forget the name of the translate service Apollo said to use, but he sent me a different one. And then what he was saying made much more sense, and I wasn't going to fly down there and slap him.
So chances are Google is using Parisian French, and Apollo was doing Quebecois, or was it, or the other way around, one or the other. That's
He
probably what
was,
the big part of the problem was.
well, he was doing Quebecois with local slang
Yeah.
as well. So, yeah.
I was just about to say, I wonder how much slang, idioms, whatever was in there because that will throw a translator faster than anything.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know how many of the translators pick up on the Quebecois. Someone did tell me that what's that software that people use to learn language?
Well, there's
oh,
actually several. One of the most popular ones, though, is Duolingo, but there's also Babbel and two or three others.
Yeah, it was
oh,
Duolingo people were talking about that you can actually select to learn Quebecois.
she made it.
There, bipolar. Kitty girl, you're up.
Well, if Bipolar's ready, let her go on first because I've shared some already and she hasn't.
Okay. Bipolar, you're up.
And I know we've got just a few minutes left and you're going to have to leave. So,
Hello, thank God I made it. Good evening,
You
everyone.
made it. Tell us about this.
Okay, so this is a response to the Hive Learners prompt about stress. If stress is something we can avoid, and if it's something we cannot avoid, how can we cope or like have a better approach towards it and stuff like that? So I talked about my own experience. Like basically, when we hear stress, people think is physical stress, being fatigued, being exhausted from the day's work and everything. But from my own experience, I think the stress starts from the mind and how you feel. before you start feeling tired and exhausted, your mind is already like overwhelmed. So most times people don't really pay attention to their mental health, and when they battle with stress, they just feel, oh, okay, I'm going to maybe work smart and cut down on my activities. But then you might not be getting enough sleep. You might be in you might like be struggling about a business deal gone wrong, or maybe a friendship that has gone south and stuff like that. And this can be really overwhelming and stressful at the same time. So for me, what I do right now is I try to get enough sleep, and I also try to not overthink things. Basically, if I cannot solve it, well, the whole world is going to burn. But then if I can solve it, I'll just try and focus on the solution and not the problem or the situation. So that's just basically what I blabbed about on the post. Thank you.
I've often found the solution to stress is duct tape, maybe even a shovel to bury it with.
That's a good one.
Just a thought. All right. Thank you, bipolar. Hey,
Thank
kitty,
you.
kitty girl, you're up.
Okay, well, I said a little bit ago that the first person to join the username challenge had posted, and that was Funshi, and this is her post. And I thought it was interesting that she did not pick her username. Her username chose her. And I thought that was a really interesting twist.
Hmm.
So, yeah, check this out. It's a good story. And then look on the trending page for the name challenge if you want to watch for other posts coming in.
All right.
Oh, and I forgot to say, I know some of the people here have already participated in the name challenge years and years ago when it first came out. But if you haven't, consider yourself tagged to participate.
Yeah, we gotta get the story behind that bipolar one. She's not biting. Up there she is. She's texting. Just as another email arrives from the plaza. You've shared that a couple of times. Well, you'll have to.
Oh, we're going to have to go dig through our blog.
Kitty Girls put up a challenge for people to tell a story about their names, their screen names. So she wanted to know if you already were bipolar or just aspired to be bipolar.
She told me maybe I didn't know the meaning of bipolar. She was like, are you sure you know the meaning of this thing? Do you want to go like think it through, check the meaning? And I'm like, yeah, I know bipolar disorder, but then outside the disorder, there's bipolar, which means like two extremes, like we're either here or there and stuff like that. I had to explain, like, I did this really essay, this write up. We're debating about it. She was like, you want people to see you as crazy. Remember, I've named sticks for life. You cannot change it. I said, put it there. That's what I want.
Okay, so Stress Killer got the 1 HBI. Leslie got the 3 HBI. Stress Killer got the 5 HBI. And Stress Killer got the NFT. He was on a roll today. But Leslie, you held him back. Good job. So, all right. That was good timing. The list is empty, and we're at the end of the hour. So that worked out. Now we'll see how many show up after the fact. You've been listening to Shadows Pub host Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us on PYPT and join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on creating. And it's all about community. Oh, yeah. Bye, Wilma.
Bye, Wilma.